Yo, what is going on, guys? Max here. Hopefully you guys are all having a fantastic day so far. I really hope you guys are, because this is going to be most likely, I am not 100% sure, but it is most likely that we are going to finish up the rest of the storyline in this video. And so hopefully you guys are excited for it. I know I am. I'm really excited to see how this story ends. In last episode, if you missed it, we built this teleporter, which is going to teleport us to the Institute, and that is where we are going to get our son back, because if you didn't know, the Institute is the people who stole our son. Now also, if you guys didn't hear last episode, I did say that I am a little sick. I do have strep throat currently, and so I am feeling a little sick. I really just wanted to finish this series already though, and so I am going to be playing, but I apologize if I do sound a little sick or if I cough here and there. That's just because I do have strep throat right now. I did prepare though. I have some cough drops right here that I'll be sucking on throughout the entire episode, and so hopefully that'll make it so I don't cough as often. But we are going to hop right into this episode, which is going to be going into the teleporter. So hopefully you guys are excited for this episode, but let's get it started.
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Yep, we are ready.
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens.
Alrighty. So I guess we're stepping onto the platform.
Whenever you're ready.
And here we go.
Okay. Hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. By the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. Don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration.
Okay.
Scanning for the
Is Roscoe coming with me?
signal.
Roscoe!
RF,
Oh.
and... got it. Hold on to your butt.
Did Roscoe come with me? Oh, he didn't come with me. But we are inside the Institute now, guys. Let's try to be quiet. Is this where we're supposed to put in the holotape? Okay, load holotape. Network scanner. Initiate network scan. Okay. So that scanned the network, and now we'll give that back to Sturgis, I guess. But now, I guess we're gonna continue on.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful.
Father.
I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Well, I still have no idea where the hell we are. But I guess we're going to speak to this father guy, whoever he is.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground.
So they are underground.
Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Damn right I am. This doesn't seem like a very safe elevator. You can get your hand cut off. Is that him? That's Shaun.
Shaun?
Huh? Yes, I'm Shaun.
Shaun? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
These bad people, they stole you from me.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Yes, it's me, your dad. I'm here, Shaun.
What's going on? Father? Father!
What do you want me to do, Shaun? What can I do?
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
He doesn't recognize me.
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Shaun. S923, recall code Cirrus.
What the fuck?
Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Shaun. The real Shaun. Right now!
I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Shaun. I am your son.
What?
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan.
So that's why he
never
was
failed
still
the
alive.
Institute. But his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Maybe. I don't know. This is so much to take in.
I know. And I am sorry. You have been through so much in such a short time. The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
I just don't know.
Just give it time. Give the Institute a chance. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
This is... wow. So, that is some kind of prototype synth. This isn't even a human. And this is our son that was taken from the vault 60 years later. So he's older than us now. That's insane. Plot twist and a half. So we have to go meet the leaders, the divisional leaders of the Institute right now, which are the doctors and leaders of different areas. I still have some feeling in the back of my head that like this is like the Enclave. This place is huge. Bioscience.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going.
What are these
So I've had to
plants?
put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be
Hi,
close
Doc.
to 10 years old by now.
Welcome. So
It's
good to have you here.
remarkable that any child
Dr.
can
Clayton
survive
Holdren,
for so long
head of the
there, don't you think?
Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
I'm sure it's fascinating, but that's not why I'm here.
Of course, I completely understand. Before you go, at least let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. I promise I'll keep it short. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm not sure. Right now, I'm just trying to keep an open mind.
It's a big decision, I know, but it's also a rare and important opportunity. No need to rush to judgment. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, I'm good for now.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Take care, then.
I didn't see any gorillas. Oh, there they are. So these are synth gorillas. They're not even real.
Gorilla project is showing promising results.
I don't know if I like where this is going, guys. I have the same feeling I have when, like, we went in the Enclave in Fallout 3.
Doctor.
They weren't kidding.
Me.
You really are here.
Built pretty well.
Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm just looking around.
I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here, not like topside.
Oh,
If
Jesus,
there's
give me
anything
a
else you'd
break.
like to know about the facilities division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it. Even so, I'm ready to see the full gen.
See, the one thing I don't like about this, guys, like overall, is that these guys are people who grew up with like privilege and stuff like that, and they don't know what it's like topside at all. And I feel like they value their lives more than... They think that they're more important than the people who are topside. And that's what I don't like about this. Advanced systems, okay.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
I get the impression you don't want me here.
What I want, in this case, is largely irrelevant. Father gave his orders. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
I'm good for now, thanks.
All right.
Jesus, she sounded like a bitch. Alright, so we're going to like the synth laboratory, I guess.
Doc.
So, here you are. Justin Ao, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions. It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
If the synths want to be free, you should let them.
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are
Kill
highly
everything in their
self-sufficient,
path.
trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Why does it matter?
If there is some defect in Courser combat programming, then it must be identified and corrected. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems.
Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Very well.
Okay, so now we're going back to talk to Father. He just wanted us to see basically everything that they do there at the Institute.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
You've got technology here that I never dreamed possible. It's amazing.
I'm glad you can appreciate what we've accomplished. None of it has been easy. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind, redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
What do you mean by proper supervision?
I mean that while they are here in the Institute, fulfilling the purpose for which they were designed, our synths perform admirably. As you're about to see, however, they can become unpredictable when set loose. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
Who erased his memories? And why?
Those idealistic radicals who call themselves the Railroad are behind it. We'll deal with them in time. But right now, the priority is to reclaim that synth before more harm is done. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
So I guess we're meeting up with a courser, and we're going to take back a synth whose memories have been erased by the Railroad, because that's what the Railroad does, because they're like fighting for the synths, remember? And they erased his memories, and now he believes that he's a Raider leader, and we're going to get him back, I guess. And so now I guess we're just teleporting out of here. All the way over here, so it looks like we're going to take a little bit of a hike. Oh, yo fam, I'm supposed to talk to you?
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, sir. Designation X688. I've already neutralized the perimeter guard. Just give the word and we can start the assault on the main flotilla.
All right, let's go.
Right behind you, sir.
Alrighty, so we're taking down a Raider leader now, I guess. We're assaulting that thing? Oh, Jesus. Is that a mini nuke? That would be a mini nuke. Well, shit. Alright, now I just gotta... What the fuck is going on with that? I just gotta watch out for that guy with the mini nuke up there somewhere. What the hell is going on with this bridge? Well, that works, I guess. Come on, Roscoe! You can do it! What the... This is a shark? What the fuck? This is like some mutated shark dolphin. Jesus. Well, there we go. I heard it coming down. Oh shit. Oh my god, I don't know how we survived that. We have... Look at our health right now. Jesus Christ, we just survived a mini nuke. A pool cue? I can stick this up their butt. Come here! Oh, your ass isn't ready. Alright, let's take you, bend you over just like that. Nope, body, what are you doing? There we are. Stay. Damn it. There we go. And now we're just gonna take this pool cue and jam her right up in there. Slowly. Oh, Mr. Synth. I have a pool cue with your name on it. Well, with your butt's name on it, anyway. Okay. We're going up top then, I think.
Just like me. So, headed to the top. The Institute's so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs.
Gabriel, you aren't who you think you are. You're a Sith, and we're here to take you home.
Sith?
What the hell are you talking about? I remember my whole life. I know where I grew up and who my parents were. Explain that to me.
I know this is hard, but it's the truth. Your memories were altered. You are a synth.
Don't listen to these guys. They're messing with your head, man. Just shut the hell up. You got me? Don't say another word.
I'm sorry, sir, but I have my rules.
Inside.
Oh, he used the code to factory reset him, I guess. Well, that's that, I guess. Alrighty, but now that the Courser just teleported the guy back to the Institute, and I guess that's where we're headed now. And now we're back here. Let's go find Father, or Shaun.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
Institute created that synth, so the Institute is responsible for what it does.
I disagree. A synth is no more inherently evil than a handgun. When a man dies by gunshot, is the weapon's maker blamed? Of course not. The blame rightly falls on he who pulled the trigger. Yes, we created the synth. But whether they intended to or not, the Railroad's agents turned it into a killer. But enough about that. The task is done. And you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
So he had our own room made for us?
Hi.
Your quarters are just inside, sir. When you're finished here, sir, Father wants to see you.
Okay. So, this is our room if we choose to side with them, I guess.
Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
Well, the Institute stole you from me.
After everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Father. Of course. You're right. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
Railroad? Never heard of them.
Oh, come now. Let's not play games. I know full well they were instrumental in your reaching the Institute. Don't worry. I don't hold it against you. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
I'm not sure why you'd bother.
Aside from taking back our property, we must teach them a lesson, as it were, and quickly at that. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Is it just me, or will I have backup?
Of course, sir. We'll be waiting for you outside Bunker Hill. You'll have support should you need it. But we want to keep this small.
So I can inform the Brotherhood? Well, shit. Well, alright then. I guess we're going to Bunker Hill and taking back these synths from the Railroad. We initially have three options here. We can either go with the Institute, side with them. We can side with the Brotherhood, which means destroying the Railroad and the Institute. Or we can side with the Railroad, which means destroying the Brotherhood and the Institute. Or if we side with the Institute and with my lost son, who is now 60 years old, if we side with them, we actually destroyed both the Brotherhood and the Railroad. I honestly don't know what to do here, guys. Okay, here's the courser that we're supposed to meet.
Hey, Synth.
I've been waiting for you.
So, what's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed? Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear?
Yeah, we've got this.
Remember, the synths are the primary objective. Harm must be avoided at all costs. The mission's parameters just changed. We're going shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
Alright, so now we've got the railroad, guys. We've got some Institute synths, and we're just killing the railroad right now. What is that? The Brotherhood is here too? So I just get to watch my friends be murdered, basically. I don't want to shoot you, don't make me do it. It's just all 3 of the people I could have sided with fighting right here. The Institutes, the Brotherhood, and then the railroad. Don't, just let me through. I don't want to hurt you. Alright, here are the escaped synths.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus. Alright, Synth.
Please.
C322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest. You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus.
Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated.
Why? We have your synths. Why does it matter if we have to make sure everyone's dead?
Good work.
And now we're going over to meet Shaun outside of the Institute on the roof.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
Kellogg called me the backup.
Did he? Well, he was correct. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
That's all this is to you. All I am to you. Just another experiment?
No, that's not all. But still, I'm glad it turned out the way it did. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course, but they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Welp, I don't know what to think either, Roscoe. Okay, and so now we're going back down to the Institute, and we're going to be a part of a director meeting, and they're going to talk about some future plans with the Institute. And apparently I'm going to be a part of this now. I just hope we made the right decision, you know?
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Good, we're on. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
No idea what that is.
I'll admit I'm relieved. It's intended to be something of a classified project, which I'm sure means everyone already knows about it. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ao. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
What? Can't be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious.
Really? Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
I don't know if I'm right for this.
Well, I clearly have faith in you. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
I don't know what to do, guys. So at this point, we still have a choice. So we can either side with the Brotherhood or the Railroad and blow up the Institute, or we can side with the Institute and kill basically everyone above ground. And I just don't know what to do, but that's gonna have to do it for this episode, guys. The next episode will most likely be the last. Definitely leave a thumbs up and a comment on what you guys think I should do. I really appreciate all the support so far in this series, but until next time, guys, this has been Max. Peace.